The repeated speaking of a Bible verse has often been understood as a way of slowing the mind and giving full attention to a truth that might otherwise pass too quickly through thought. When a verse is spoken once, it may inspire briefly, but when it is repeated several times with understanding, each repetition allows the meaning to settle more deeply. This does not mean that the number itself creates a result automatically, but that repetition helps a person remain focused long enough to absorb what is being declared. In many faith traditions, 7 is associated with completeness, so repeating a verse 7 times can feel intentional and orderly rather than random. The important part is not speed or volume, but clarity of thought while speaking. A person who repeats scripture carefully often begins to notice words that were ignored before. A promise about provision may suddenly sound more practical, a line about peace may feel more personal, and a statement about trust may become something that challenges daily thinking. This process can create mental steadiness because repeated truth interrupts anxious thoughts that usually dominate when someone is worried about finances, delayed answers, or uncertain outcomes. Instead of allowing fear to speak first, the verse becomes the stronger voice for a few moments, and that alone can change the emotional atmosphere of a day. The practice becomes engaging because each repetition gives room for reflection. What does this verse mean today? What part applies now? And what kind of response should follow after speaking it? A balanced understanding is important because repetition should not be treated as a formula that guarantees immediate money or sudden change without effort. Scripture repeated with sincerity can strengthen faith, but faith also works alongside practical judgment, responsible choices, and patient action. If someone speaks a verse about provision yet ignores obligations, delays work, or avoids wise planning, the spoken words lose connection with daily responsibility. The value of repeating a verse is often that it prepares the person inwardly to act with greater calm and clearer thinking. A settled mind notices opportunities better than a restless one. Sometimes, after repeating a verse several times, a person becomes less overwhelmed and more able to respond wisely to what is already available, returning an important message, completing unfinished work, reaching out to someone, reviewing expenses, or recognizing a possibility that had been overlooked. This is why the practice remains meaningful when approached with honesty rather than exaggeration. The verse is not a shortcut around effort. It is a way of centering the heart before effort begins. Repetition also helps because familiar words become more alive when spoken slowly. What seemed ordinary in reading can feel stronger when declared with attention. In that sense, repeated scripture serves as a disciplined pause that gives the mind direction before decisions are made.